moving in sort of an opposite direction, since a lot of the work that you're involved with takes a lot of, you know, critical thinking analysis, what kinds of movies and TV shows do you like to watch when you want to unwind? Like, what is Charlene's version of trash TV, garbage
Soaps.
TV, and and then the
No,
opposite?
seriously.
Yeah.
I watch soaps. I love soaps.
Which ones?
I watched General Hospital. I moved to Europe and they canceled the other soaps. And I came back. I only had one soap left.
Uh-huh.
So then, but I got into the British soaps when I was abroad. So I also watched EastEnders, Coronation Street, Hollyoaks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm watching these like 100-something episode drops of these Chinese historical dramas, which so I'm 78 episodes in
Mm-hmm.
to Ruyi's Royal Love in the Palace.
Uh-huh.
They just cut off someone's balls last episode. I mean, no, harem life is not for the weak. Like harem life is hardcore. Yeah, they do some messed up stuff in here.
Did you jump into it like, okay, I want to immerse myself in this topic, or was this more like, hey, this looks interesting, let me figure out what this is all about, and then you got surprised?
I think I like costume dramas. I started back, and I'm going to make a confession. I went all the way to Switzerland for Art Basel,
Uh-huh.
but I was so depressed, I sat in my Airbnb and watched like a bunch of episodes of another one called Nothing Gold Can Stay. And they actually took it off the air because I think the license with China like wasn't renewed.
Uh-huh.
And I actually wrote into Amazon Prime saying, I am like 80 episodes into this. You can't cut me off. Figure this out.
Did he still have it?
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
So on this one, I didn't even know like that. And this is really bad. I don't know if I should admit this. I was like really deep into this on Friday. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew stuff was going down with the protests,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know about like the mass, like how like in like how much it had ballooned
Uh-huh.
until Sunday morning when I woke up and looked at the news on my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I really was like so into this.
Mm-hmm. So you're just like lost in that, immersed in this world, and
I'm immersed in this world. I am immersed in this world, and I love the Chinese stuff. Is even cooler because because of the food culture. So like it's like Game of Thrones with better food. Like every scene is like, yes, here is some pigeon tongue soup that will help warm your throat, and there is some this and but every table is laid out so great. I mean, you really find out what a culture prioritizes by their soaps.
How so?
I learned this comparing American soaps to British soaps, where American soaps are always like this big rich family and then everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
British soaps still is not. It's about working class pride. And so the big family in a British soap is a working class family in a working class neighborhood. Where in American soaps, there's like they have the big mansion and they own the big corporation. And it really tells you what the values are.
Wow. I didn't even notice that.
The American dream here, where they still want to tell us that we can all be rich, even though it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
The Brits are like, no, we're regular folk. And it's funny because people get glamorous to get on camera for the American soaps.
Mm-hmm.
To find out like how pretty someone is on the British soap, you gotta find out with Google and find out what they look like, you know, on their in real life, because they really dress it down.
Wow.
I used to say they chav it up when they were calling people chavs. they would chav it up, you know. So you never knew, like, you know, how it. Now with the Chinese thing, I've noticed. Well, for one thing, you have these you have thousands and thousands of years of very carefully recorded history.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like they got material for like costumes, 100-something episode costume soaps, like forever.
Oh yeah.
All you gotta do is pick one emperor to go, or one, famous family and go. But it's like there's so much history. Also, the food part, the medicine part, but also just the whole thing about manners and tradition and respect. Oh, and being filial.
Oh yeah, filial piety.
Yes, filial piety.
Mm-hmm.
But and so I could tell you, so you really can get a quick grasp of what the values are of each place.
Is that a new show?
What, Marie's Royal Love in the Palace?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they're not old, because I was able to look them up, and I mean, I don't know if it's old or new. I mean, I'm sure, the Chinese have all seen it. Uh-huh. But when I looked up the old one, Nothing Gold Can Stay, like they had a eunuch character. They always have an evil eunuch.
Uh-huh.
And this one, was really weird. It was a little too much makeup. And I found out that he was like this teen, he was like this boy band teen guy. And there was a fire on the set of the last show he did. And he saved his leading lady and got burned in the process.
Oh my, what?
Oh yeah, I dived deep. I mean, afterwards I'm like, I want to know about this actor. And then he got crap, that they were like, oh, his face is burned. It's like, he saved his leading lady and he's a great actor. But so he went from playing leading men to villains. But his villain character stole the show. I mean, to the point where I had to look up and find out who he was.
All right, see, I don't even watch Chinese soaps, and now I have to get into Chinese soaps.
You got it. Chinese Amazon Prime, they got a lot of them.
I need to check it out.
And then I watched a couple Korean soaps.
Oh yeah.
I just haven't got the full hookup yet. And when they start subtitling telenovelas, it's on.
So that's funny that you were mentioning about soaps, because I was actually thinking about Korean soaps, because those are one of the only ones that I've actually watched. But in terms of like speaking of sort of the values, I think one of the interesting things about Korean soaps is noticing how they have these dynamics between the uber rich, wealthy son who is the heir to some financial company, and the dad or the parents want that son to marry rich, and there's always this narrative of the rich dude who is an asshole and the working class poor, not just like poor girl, who has to sort of take on this abuse, and this guy, and it's always so funny, and it's at this point it's sort of a meme that like so many of these Korean soaps force this girl through this terrible journey where he's like berating her and he's telling her that she's stupid and that she doesn't know what she's doing, and then all of a sudden she just changes and she like loves the guy, and it's just always so bizarre. But like you said, it's like you can watch these shows, and especially ones that are geared towards the people of that culture, and you see sort of the values and the commentary that they're trying to say on race or gender or class, and it's just like interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you really, I mean, yeah. I learn a lot just looking at someone's soaps. What's funny? I just wanted to note, I'm hearing screaming outside. Not good screaming, like hooting. Like the protest is really right outside.
Oh my gosh. Like right outside your window?
Like a block away.
Okay.
But I can hear it, like through closed windows.
That's wild.
Right, it's really like right here. It's crazy. And curfew started 5 minutes ago.
Uh-oh. And I
know
know
that 8 o'clock curfew in New York.
I know that they have, like, I remember last night I was reading about how they just trapped a bunch of people on the bridge. Like, oh my gosh,
that was crazy. And that's another reason why I'm not out. That is like, oh my, yeah, it's crazy over here. I mean, and also remember, we had the strictest lockdown in the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you guys were like the epicenter of the epicenter, and
yeah, And I went to the last art fair, and I can't believe I survived Armory Week. Right after that was lockdown.
Wow.
And then, and then the behind the park,
Mm-hmm.
and Central Park Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then this. Oh, and I just, and, oh, and I just, and my relationship ended this morning too. So,
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
oh,
This
it's
is
okay. It wasn't meant to be.
okay.
I'm
Well
not,
then, well then, good. Now, that's
well, what happened is because lockdown, we're still on lockdown from like March 11th.
yeah.
Cuffing season never ended.
What season?
Cuffing season.
What is that? Cuffing
You ever heard
season?
of cuffing season?
What is that?
You need to ask your wife what cuffing season is. I think it's some black shit. Cuffing season, I guess, is when you cuff someone during cold weather, so you have someone to get through the
Oh.
cold weather with. So you don't always have to get the hottest guy for cuffing season. You just got to get some warm body.
And is that season over? You're good now?
Cuffing season is supposed to end when winter ends. Well, now it's June, but but spring's the lost season. So yeah, a lot of people are still cuffing season's just about to end. But usually when cuffing season ends, then you start working out and summer's coming. Cuffing season's we're all fat over here. I got that Corona body.
Speaking of Corona, so when all these lockdowns finally end and it's completely safe to, go back to the restaurants, if it ever becomes safe, what would be the first thing that you'd like to eat? Like, what is on your foodie bucket list? Like, since you've been inside, like,
I've been eating really well.
really?
Yeah, no, we have great food supply here.
Oh, that's true. Because
everybody's delivering. I found like a great butcher. I found Mexican chorizo.
Oh my gosh,
Finally, you understand that is not very common over here. I found a butcher that has great Mexican chorizo and make their own dog food for the little one.
oh my gosh, wow. I love butchers because like there's something. It's like having a barber or a hairstylist that you go to all the time. It's like, ooh, cool. Like, they know what you like. And is it one of those places where it's like a small place?
Wait. No, it's not the virus. Yeah, butcher with a counter. You can go, cut me like a little pound of bacon. I'll just have one of those steaks. Cut that in half. I mean, yeah, we got butchers.
And so you've been able to order from all the places that you normally go to and that you normally like.
I found better ones.
That's cool,
I
though.
found ones because now that so everybody's delivering, I found a new app that has like the good places, like the real good places.
What app is that?
Mercado. I don't know if you have it over there,
Mercado.
But they have like all of the fancy stores on it.
Huh, interesting.
So I started the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was gonna be like the black like Martha Stewart, and I was just gonna start making. But I love to cook, but I got other people that are really invested in like sourdough starters and stuff like that. So I gave up on that.
Yeah, I had a moment where I was like, oh, I'm going to cook. I'm going to plan everything out. And then after a while, I'm just like, man, I'm too fucking tired. I'm too like depressed. I'm too stressed out about everything. I just want to order food. But that's cool, at least, that you're able to order everything and everything's still fine. Charlene, I've loved our chat. Unfortunately, it's breezed by so fast. Before I have...
Right? It's like 8:10. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. It went by super quick. Before I head out, what are you working on, and where can we find you?
Okay, so I have an exhibition up. Arcade Project Curatorial is on Instagram. It is also on the magazine site. is currently part of the magazine site. We're going to get a new URL and separate it out to a new site soon. So there's currently an exhibition called Spring Forward that is curated by my friend who is an amazing street photographer, Ruben Natal San Miguel. And that is currently up. And you can also find us on Artsy if you want to buy something directly. I am also still working on the magazine, still writing, still editing. I have a little crew. We have a show coming up at the end of this month for Pride. We're going to do one on queer abstraction. It's going to be different and it'll be educational. Everybody can learn what queer abstraction is. And then I said I have the new Flesh exhibition that will happen as soon as people can go out again. I'm working on an exhibition for Museum of Sex that we hope will open in September. And but right now it's just visit the magazine site and the gallery site. And we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter, but we're not doing much. But yeah, you can find us everywhere. And then this one,
yeah,
Chloe. You can find her on Chloe the Tiny Dog on Instagram.
I actually followed her, so I'm already a fan.
She is cute, though, isn't she?
Adorable. Yoko, come here. Let me bring my.
Oh, that's your baby.
Sure.
Did you say Yoko?
Yeah. This is.
Look at you.
She's a mini Aussie.
Oh.
No Instagram from her, but maybe I should because she's a.
Yes.
Well, I'm so glad that we were able to chat. I'm so glad that we were able to see your little doggy. And Charlene, you are always welcome back to the show. It was a pleasure.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I finally got to meet you. As I said, we were talking from back when Steve Harvey said that stupid shit. I've been here since then.
I'm so grateful, and I'm so glad that you've been here for such a long time. And it's cool to be able to finally meet you because, you know, whenever I hear people who had been following for such a long time, especially for someone like you, you've been following since like 2014. I'm so appreciative, and I'm a fan of you, and you know I'm going to be a fan of Arcade Project, and we're definitely going to let the LLAG community know so they can go ahead and reach out and support you too.
Well, great, thank you.
Of course, Charlene. It was a pleasure, and hopefully you stay safe out there and have a really nice night.